Well, hey y'all, welcome to How to Cook Stuff. Now today I'm going to be showing you how to make something. It's a little bit simple, I guess, but it's good to know how to make it anyway. And I can use this opportunity to show you some knife skills and some basic cooking things. So what we're going to make today is a salad, and I'm going to make like a fried chicken and salad. I'm going to need my peeler. Peeler's over here. So yeah, let's get going here. Before I get started, I just like to say I hope y'all don't have too much trouble understanding my accent. I know it's a bit heavy. It's because I'm Canadian. So anyway, off we go making a salad. So what I like to do is I like to start with the leaves, the lettuce. You give them a good wash. Now this is a bit limp. This particular head of iceberg lettuce has been in my fridge for a couple of days, and well, let's just say it's better if we use it now. I'm going to cut off the stem because that's not particularly tasty. Now that's looking a little bit old, but I think it's okay. So what I like to do is just give it a chop like that. You don't want any big pieces. It looks like it's okay. Just throw that in there. Now, I'm making a salad pretty much just for myself. The wife and Munchkin are out for the day, so I'm cooking for one here. Oh, that's a big piece. You can rip that up. Just go through with your hands here. And now, some people say you should never put this part in the salad at all, but I say they're full of I happen to like that piece. It's pretty tasty. I'm not even going to wait. And what was I say? All right, yeah, so I'm cooking for one. I don't need a bowl this big to eat a salad, but I do need it to mix the salad. So a bigger bowl than you want to eat it in is probably a good idea. I'm not putting onions in it or chili. Okay, next, these leaves. Now these leaves need to be washed pretty thoroughly. The other one I'd already kind of washed. Oh, watch out there. The other one I kind of already washed. This one not so much. So what I'm going to do is separate the leaves from the stem like so. And pull it off there. All right, now this stuff in the middle is likely not to have too much in the way of dirt and bugs and things there. You want to just give them a wipe down the inside of the stem, because you'd be surprised what kind of crap can get in there. It's all sorts of dirt and bugs and there we go. Now, the leaves towards the outside, you're going to find some darker kind of nasty bits. My rule is if I don't want to eat it when I'm washing it, I don't want to eat it in a salad. This leaf, this is not a good leaf. I'm not going to eat that. You can see it's a bit darker down the middle and it's a bit rusty down there. Now it's not rust like like your car, if you don't look after it anyway. No, it's leaf rust. Leafy vegetables do that. Sometimes I have no idea why. So I'm just going to give the leaves all a big rinse. And the reason I do the leaves first, because that's what gives your salad most of its volume. And so you get a pretty good idea of how big the salad's likely to be. Now see, I got a bit of crap there too. I don't want that. Yeah, I'll keep that, throw that away. Now, there we go. So all these leaves. Now, them fancy TV chefs is going to tell you that you should always tear your leaves. Don't use your knife. Use your hands and tear your leaves. Gives them I don't know what kind of rugged, rustic, artisanal look or something stupid like that. Well, I figure I don't have time for that. I want to eat this motherfucker. I don't want to be waiting around tearing leaves with my fingers and like that. So, leaves are done. Got all sorts of leaves. Now I'm looking at this now, I figure I'm probably going to be eating this for a couple of days. That's all right. What's next? I think we'll go for the carrot next. So I'm just going to peel the carrot, get that dirty stuff off the outside. There we go. And we're good. Now, it's probably a bad idea too, cutting right over like that without the cutting board, but what the hell, you only live once, right? So, now, well, the reason I do that is because this is going to be cut differently than this. Now, we're going to be eating, well, you're not going to be eating this salad, but I'm going to be eating this salad, and everything that I put in there, I'm going to be eating the way it is. I'm not eating this with a knife and a fork. So I want everything in there to be the right size to put in my mouth, and to be the right size to go well with everything else that's in there that's the right size. So, I personally don't like big chunks of carrot and take up your whole mouth and that's all you're eating. I prefer thinner slices, and I don't want them too big. So I take the thick part of the carrot, cut it in half. Now, this is what I was talking about with the knife skills I was going to show you. The way you hold your knife and the way you hold your hand are important. You don't want your finger sticking out like that. You're going to cut off your finger. What you want to do is curl your fingers under, and then you're rubbing the side of the knife, because the side of the knife ain't going to hurt you. You rub the side of the knife along your finger. Use your finger to steer the knife, right? This hand's just sliding it back and forth. This hand is adjusting where the knife is going. So, before I do that, though, there's only one dangerous kind of knife, and that is a dull knife. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing, I don't even know what this is called. What it does is it hones the knife. It doesn't sharpen the knife. This is something that a lot of people don't seem to get. It doesn't sharpen the knife. It just hones it. Now what that means, when you hone a knife, you're taking out all the little nicks and bumps and dull spots that build up when you use it. You should always hone your knife before you use it, because a sharp knife goes where you push it. A dull knife jumps off and skips off, and a dull knife can still cut you up pretty bad. You take my word for it. Hopefully I won't be demonstrating that today. So we're going to cut this carrot nice and thin. You see, I'm using my left hand to allow the knife to come back slowly every cut. Quality control. Pretty tasty. And so I get all these little thin slices. Now, I'm not real good at this. Ooh, be careful there. As I was saying, I'm not real good at this. Those fancy pants culinary school graduates, they'll sit there and they'll cut every one of them exactly the same width, like a machine. That ain't my thing. I'd rather be eating than cutting. As long as they're all kind of the same, I'm happy. Quality control. Quality's good. You can scoop things up with your knife if you're careful. Now this one, because if you cut it in half, there's teeny little pieces, it's a waste of time. Yum. So you got about the same amount of carrot going on. That's why I cut the carrot in half before I cut it up in slices. Just a little thing I do. You do what you like. If you want big pieces of carrot, cut yourself some big pieces of carrot. It's all good. Now, here, I'll show you a little trick that I learned from watching TV cooking shows. This is where the stem usually is. Now, if you got the stem sticking out, this is a lot easier. But what you can do is just push that in. And then if you had the stem, you just pull it right out, and then you've got a pepper with no pith. That's why stuff's called the pith. Now we're going to cut this up and put it in a salad anyway, so I don't really care. I'm not stuffing a pepper. If I was stuffing a pepper and I didn't have a stem like that, I'd probably cut around and pull it out that way. or just cut the top off and stuff the whole thing like that. But rinse the seeds out. I don't want the seeds. Seeds are okay. I don't care for them, but some manageable size pieces. Now, how am I going to cut this up? How do I want to eat it? That's the question. Now, I could do long, thin slices. I don't really want to, though. This son won't sit still, so I'm going to cut the ends off, and then it'll sit better. Now, I like pepper, but these are sweet peppers, these are bell peppers. They're not spicy peppers. These are spicy peppers. I'm not putting them in. I don't really like them in my salad. What we're going to do is just cut up small pieces. So I'm going to cut strips about the same width, turn them sideways, and you'll notice I'm still keeping my hand the way that I showed you, as you do. Now, the reason people do that isn't so they can look all fancy or impress the ladies or whatever. I don't know, ladies, are you impressed by like that? I didn't think so. Or impress the men, I guess. I don't want to make assumptions. But I promise you boys ain't impressed too much by that. So here we go. All right. Now, it's important. It's not bad. It's important to taste as you cook. Now, even with a salad, you want to know kind of how things are going to taste on their own. And that'll help you decide how much of things to put in. Like, I'm considering whether I want to put this whole pepper in or not. I kind of do, actually, now. I normally wouldn't have, but that was pretty tasty. Now, these are going to add a bit of sweetness. The leaves, to be honest, the leaves are mostly to pick up the salad dressing. You try making a salad out of nothing but pieces of things like cucumbers and carrots and stuff, and you find out pretty fast you're not getting a lot of that salad dressing flavor on your vegetables. There we go. You know what? That seems like it's lots. I'm going to save this for something else. Tomato. Oh, boy. I happen to really, really like tomatoes. And this is something else I learned from watching a TV cooking show. I'm not going to tell you who taught me it, but his name rhymes with, well, I'm not even going to tell you that. I can't tell you how many times I've stabbed myself in the hand trying to cut this piece of out of the tomato. And then I saw this celebrity TV chef showing people how to do this. You stick the knife in, and you hold it there, like that. And you don't turn the knife, you don't move the knife, you hold the knife steady, and you turn the tomato. Isn't that awesome? I love that. Because I tell you, I cut myself on this piece of knife. Actually, it's not a piece of shit, that's a really good knife, but I cut myself on that son a lot of times. I've never once cut myself on a tomato. Okay, same idea. Now, I don't want huge pieces of tomato. Some people do. If you want big pieces of tomato, you cut big pieces of tomato. You want small pieces of tomato, you cut small pieces of tomato. I like mine about medium size. And you scoop under there and then boink, throw it in there. Delicious. Now, you'll notice I put the two end pieces off to the side. I'll tell you why in a minute. Hey, you, come back here. Yeah, we're losing our... All right. There we go. Now, the reason you put those separately is because if they're on top of the other pieces of tomato, they're going to slide right off. It's hard to cut them. You got to push too hard. Squishes the tomatoes. The juice all comes out. It's a mess. It's nasty. Cut these separately. Have them sitting right on the cutting board. Much easier to cut. All right. Now this is a radish. It's a daikon radish. Now, I mentioned before that I'm Canadian, but I don't live in Canada. I live in China, and these radishes are everywhere around here. I don't want too much of this. It's not particularly spicy radish. It's a bit watery. We don't eat the peels on these. Not around here anyway. Living in China, you peel damn near everything because who knows what people have sprayed with. Well, a lot of the time, but chemicals too. And it don't matter how much you wash it, you're not washing it all off. So, what kind of pieces do I want to eat of this? Well, I think small square pieces. So, sometimes I like to do little threads. Okay. Oh, this is the other thing. You should always have your fingers higher than the edge of the knife. So you should always be on the bigger side of the thing you're cutting. Why? Well, if I was cutting like this, the knife starting above my knuckle, I'm going to cut the out of my knuckle. I don't want to do that. So, I'll move that over there, because if I cut it the same way here, I'd end up with little tiny slivers. I don't want little tiny slivers. I don't want big pieces, though, so I'm going to cut them fairly small. Quality control. Not too shabby. All right. Now, that's probably lots. So we got our vegetable prep pretty much done. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I don't want to cut my fingers off. Oh, right, cucumbers. Everything else is pretty much done. Now, most people would leave the skin on a cucumber, but again, as I said when I was doing the radish, around here, better safe than poisoned. While I'm thinking about it, I'll show you my knife. This is a chef's knife. The shape of the knife is, don't touch that side. The shape of the knife is specifically for chefing, I guess. You got a slightly curved blade side, and you've got a nice thick spine, and you've got a handle big enough to hold, and it's about that long. And it's good for chopping, for cutting. You wouldn't want to fillet a fish with it or whatever, but it's not very flexible. It won't bend too much, but it does the job. This is the most important knife if you're going to buy yourself a good knife, and I do recommend if you plan to do a bunch of cooking that you do buy a good knife. This is a Henckels. Henckels is one of the best brands of knife you can buy. There are others. It's a 7-inch stainless steel chef's knife. If you're going to buy only one knife, I suggest you buy a chef's knife. If you're going to buy two, a good paring knife would be the job. Now, I think I'm going to cut this way, and then I'm going to cut it this way and this way. I'm going to do quarters. I like fairly sizable chunks of cucumber in my salad. Okay. Now, there we go. Now, I'm holding it real careful on either side just to keep it together. I don't necessarily recommend that technique. I don't know if it's safe or not. I've never cut myself doing that. I cut myself trying to cut a carrot once really badly. It rolled on me. That's actually when I started cutting them in half before I sliced them. Can't roll if they're flat. All right, so vegetables are done. I usually just give them a little mix there. Just with my hands. Now, I didn't have the cameras on when I did this, but make sure you wash your hands good before you start cooking. Who knows where you've been? You don't even know everything you touched. There's a lot of things we touch every day that we probably should. All right, now, I like to keep my workspace fairly clean. Watch your heads there. There we go. Now, here's my chicken. And I said I was going to fry up some chicken and put it in my salad. What I have here is, these are called chicken tenders or chicken tenderloins. They're actually the lower part of the breast where it attaches to the ribs. That's where this is on a chicken. Tenderloins usually along the back of an animal, well, a mammal anyway, like a pork tenderloin or a beef tenderloin would be along the spine, along the back. It's a postural muscle, doesn't get a lot of work out of it. These are, well, my wife loves them. I'd just as soon have a breast, to be honest. More meat on it, and you can do a lot of different things with it you can't do with these. But these don't dry out as easily, so I've left this thing on them so that I can show you how to deal with it. This is a tendon. This is where it attaches to the bone, and they almost always have them. You see, it goes right down in the middle, connects this piece of muscle to the bone. Now, you don't want that when you're eating it, because it's chewy and it's just not good. You can't eat that. That's not eaten. It's not for eating. So what you do is you stick it down to the cutting board, hold your knife at an angle, and just slide it along like so. You can even just push a little bit, and then you get that tendon right out of there. Now, I should mention it's important to have a sharp, honed knife when you do this. Now, when I hone it, I usually give it a little quick rinse because there is sometimes some metal dust that gets left on the blade when you do that. I don't want to eat that. So, here we go. Where's that tendon? There we are. Get out of here, you son. There we go. All right. So, slide down. Now, if you have too straight up and down on your knife, you're going to cut through the tendon. Too much of a side, you're going to lose some meat. So you got to get the right angle and just slide it right off like that. I'm going to cook up 3 of these for my salad. I'm not going to eat the whole thing. I mentioned earlier, this is probably going to be a 2-day salad. I always do that. I make way more than I need. There we go. I missed a little bit of it in the middle there, but that's not worth chasing down. Yeah. If you lose the tag end there, as I have done, very conveniently, you can get it back if you really want to. Although it's not usually worth the effort. That happens all the time. It's fine. There might be a little chewy bit in there that you don't want to chew. Now, a purist would say that I should fry these up as they are and then slice them after, let it rest and all the juices and blah, 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 blah. I say that. When you fry it up on the outside, it gets all crispy and brown and juicy. I love that. And I figure the more pieces there are, the more outsides there are. And the more outsides there are, the more crispy bits there are. So I slice it up first. Now this is connective tissue here. You don't need that either. You can sometimes get rid of it. Sometimes I fail miserably. There we go. Depending on what you're using the meat for, sometimes you want that. Not on a chicken tender, though. If you're making soup or stew or something, you want all that. And you're going to cook it a long time, and it breaks down and turns into flavor, basically. All right, so we've got ourselves a few pieces of chicken. I got my salad dressing over here. This is just a Caesar salad dressing that I like. It by the big bottle, because why not? I'm just going to dress the whole salad. Lots and lots in there. Caesar salad dressing. All right, and I need a bowl to eat with. Where to put my... there we go. Yeah. I'm not going to use my hands for that. Mix that up a little. And you all thought I put too much salad dressing on there. No, I think I didn't get quite enough. Oh well. It's all good. So I'm going to get some of my peppers and thing. Oh, they're all at the bottom. What the hell? There we go. All right, some radishes, some peppers, some more leaves. And that ought to be lots for now. I might have seconds. We'll see how I'm doing after. But so I'll put that there. When I'm done cooking my chicken, I'm gonna put the chicken right on there, and that'll be awesome. I'm pretty hungry. All right. There we go. All right. Over here, we're gonna fry up the chicken and turn on the fire. Now, look, I got a gas cooktop. A lot of people have electric, or I don't know. I don't think anyone cooks on kerosene much anymore, but coal fire, I don't know. Look, it doesn't matter what you're cooking on. Doesn't matter what you're using for a pan. The idea is the same. You want to watch how much heat you're getting and how directly the heat's applied. It's like wet heat versus dry heat versus oily heat. It's all different. I'm going to throw a little bit of oil, not too much, in the pan. And I'm going to have it, I want it nice and hot to begin with. I'm going to turn it down once I get the meat in there. Because you don't want it too hot, otherwise it'll stick and burn. All sorts of bad things happen. Here we go. So, put that in. Sizzle, sizzle. Push around the pan. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Hopefully you can hear me over the sizzle, sizzle. There we go. Now this is the part that I have the hardest time with, is being patient, just waiting till it's ready. I always want to be doing something to it, but sometimes just letting it sit there is exactly what you need to do. That's my coffee maker, a little mocha pot. I'll show you that some other time. It's a bit too late for coffee today. I think. Yeah. Some people like to use tongs. I prefer these, actually. A little more flexible with them. Can do a lot of things. Now, I'm using them to pick up what is basically raw chicken. Well, not basically, it is. It's still raw chicken on the top. Bottom part's barely cooked. The top part's still raw. I don't want to use these to eat anymore. These are my cooking chopsticks, and that's how they're going to stay. So we're basically just waiting for the bottom side of this to start turning brown. There we go. Getting a little bit of browning happening there. Here we go. There we go. There we are. So starting to brown, what we're going to do is just flip them all over. Now, I get most of them done, then I do the rest by hand usually. Oh. Most of them anyway. Not most of them, some of them. Gets a lot of them done. Well, I got so distracted talking about leaving things alone, I forgot to season this. Add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Roll them around in there, pick up all that on the other side there. There we go, that's all good. And get my salad bowl over here. That's a rice cooker, in case you're wondering. You put your rice in, hit a button, you get rice. Beautiful thing. Wow, that smells pretty good. Now, I suspect, yeah. Now, the way you check to see if it's done is you give a little push, and you want it to be firm. It's not quite done. The bigger pieces aren't quite where I like them. Now, chicken, you want to make sure it's cooked real good. And TV chefs will tell you that beef should be bleeding in the middle. I disagree strenuously with that. I think you should cook beef however the you like to eat it. And don't let anybody tell you different. Not into food shaming. The whole point of this show, by the way, is so that you can feel like you can fend for yourself, so to speak, so you can cook food. 'Cause honestly, I don't think if you can't cook food, basic food, if you can't cook food, you shouldn't be allowed to eat food, really. I think everyone should spend like 1 or 2 years of their life eating only food that they cook for themselves. It'll teach you an appreciation both for what you can do and for what other people who are better than you can do, both of which are important. All right, that's good. I've turned off the heat. The pan's still hot though. It'll still keep cooking for a while. So we're good. I'm going to put that right on my salad. Sizzle, sizzle. And there you go. One Caesar salad with pan-fried chicken tenders on it. It's not really a Caesar salad, but Caesar dressing garden salad, I guess. Whatever, it's pretty tasty. Right, so that's it for today. I hope you all learned something. I hope you'll be able to put that into effect. If you want to try your hand at making this or something like it, just snap yourself a picture of it and post it in the comments below. I'd love to see what you can do. All right, that's all for now. I'll see you next time.